Topic for this session is we will try to automate file upload and even download in Rapise in web applications. So here is some information about me, just name and company, okay. And here is our learning objective for today. So we will demonstrate how to automate file upload and download. And during the session, we will create a real working test from scratch. So you will see all the important details you need to know to do it yourself for your application. And during the session, we will cover configuration of browser profile in Rapise. We will do actual file upload, download, and we will do synchronization of test steps to wait for the process of upload, download to complete in our test. So this is more detailed plan, and I think no need to read it aloud, and I'm proceeding to the actual demo and creation of the script. So minimizing the session. So let's create a new test here. I will name it file upload, download, and it will be a web test. So this is why I'm choosing web here, and I will use Chrome for recording and playback of my test script. Okay, here is my empty test in Rapise. So let's start recording of our script. So I hit record. No browser is running, so Rapise should prompt me to enter initial URL for my website. So before the session, I just found one of their services available out there that do conversion of PDF to text. Of course, they have file upload, and they also provide file download links. So we will be using one of them as an example here. So I click OK, and we see the usual file upload and drop files here area on the screen. So what's so important about file upload? So why do we need to bother and devote the whole session just to this topic? I will pause recording and let me show you what happens if we click somewhere, choose files. So we see that the browser opens some operating system and even browser system specific dialog box where you need to enter path to the file that you want to upload. So if we will try to automate this, this dialog is not a part of web page. It's possible to do this with Rapise, but in this case, you won't be able to run such a test on some browser farms, on remote machines, on Mac machines. You won't be able to run your tests in parallel because there will be such a step where we will need to enter something, send some keys to a Windows dialog box, file chooser dialog box. So this is why this type of automation is not what we need. So we will go a different way. Actually, I'll show you two ways of how we can automate file upload. So I will cancel this and I will resume recording. So here it won't be kind of traditional recording where we will click something and the magic happens. In the case of file upload, it's a bit tricky, but relatively simple. So let's first close this cookie low part. Okay, and I'm going to launch Spy. And we will take a look at the page. that we see on the screen. Okay, and I will track the area where the application prompts us to drop a file. So let's see how it is organized. So this is a section of divs, and here we only have just a button. So we don't even see an input field where in some cases people may enter path to a file. So let's search for the input that should receive the file name to upload. So I will simply search for all inputs on the page. So let's see what we have here. Let's move this aside. And let's maximize this. And we'll make it bigger. Okay. So actually what we need is the first one here. This is an input element that has type file. So this is what receives the file name for upload. So let's find it here. Here is this element in the DOM tree. So what I'm going to do is, let's see what XPath should be for this file. So it is file upload input. So I like this XPath. Let's learn and add this element to our object repository. So here we go. I see that the object name contains some characters I don't like. So I will edit my action and I will change the name of this element to file name. Let's save it. Also, what we need in our test is we need submit button, and submit button is this one for this site. So let's see, this is the button. Here we go. I see that the default XPath here is not very good. So the page itself doesn't provide some attributes that allow us to distinguish this button from all other buttons on the page. Also, as I remember, there are more than one upload button here. So let's try to make this XPath a bit better. So I see that there is a div with class upload container. So we will do like this. We'll write our XPath by hand. It will be a div with class that equals upload container. And there should be some button inside it. Oh, 3 buttons. What we need is the button with text start. Okay, let it be start. Oh. Okay. Text. Oh. Seems the text contains some characters that we don't need. I'll try to do it differently. Oh, type button. Only this button has type. Okay. All right. So this XPath found just one element. Let's learn it and add it to our test. I will also rename this. Submit. Okay. So I think we are done with the part that actually does the upload. So I will finish recording. And we'll append my steps. So far, we have just opening the web page and agreeing to cookie prompt. And we have our file name and submit buttons in the object repository. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add steps that do actually this file upload. I am going to add the file that I will be uploading into my test. So I'm opening my test in Windows Explorer. And here on the desktop, I have the PDF, Hello World PDF. So I moved it to my test. Okay, so the steps will be like this. So first we need to, since this file is inside the folder of my test, we need to get the full path to Hello World PDF. To do this, we will add a step global get full path and the name of our file. And the next thing we will do, here we have file name. So what we want to do is we want to send keys to this element. So let's see where we have do send keys here. Do send actually should be, perhaps it's here in generic. Do, okay, hard to find by browser. This is why we can use the drop down. So let's choose file name and let's type do send keys. Here we go, we have it. So, and do full path will return full path, and it will save the full path into last result variable. Every action sends its result to last result variable. So I will send contents of the variable last result, which that will contain the full path. So this is actually sending the full file path to our input for file upload. And the last step is submit, do click. That's it. So let's make it a bit smaller and increase. So maximize the browser window, and I'm going to test these steps. So right click and choose place selection. Okay, we see here that file Hello World appeared. It was really fast, and then submit was done, and we are now on the page where we can download the result. So we can click on some button to download the result. Okay, so let's add a download step actually. So far here is the upload part. But what should we do to download the result of this file upload? So the first thing, if you do testing through one of Selenium profiles in Rapise, is to configure download folder. So by default, it will download into download folder of the user. But what if you want to download into the folder of the test, which will be more convenient in many cases? So first, we need to pass the download folder value to our browser profile. So this is described in one of knowledge base articles. Let's go here to rapisedoc.inflectra.com. ABs. It was recently added. So let's see. Download. We have to get. Okay, I will do it a bit differently. I will go to the knowledge base with all the articles. And I will scroll this down. How to set download folder for Selenium Chrome profile. Here we go. And if we read this article, to set it to the actual folder of the test, we just need this function. So I just copy this function here to user.js file, and that's it. So it will get the full path of downloads folder inside the script folder, and it will assign it to preferences of the browser profile. So we are good to go. Let's record the step that downloads. So I'm going to record click on this download zip file button. So I start recording. And download. Okay, file was downloaded somewhere. Since we started the browser without this tweak, it probably was downloaded to user download folder. So we will restart the browser to reflect this change. So I finish recording, insert this step here. Okay, and let's close browser. I will minimize this. Here in the folder of the test, we don't see download folder. Okay, so let's run our test from the very beginning. Okay, object is not found, download zip file. Okay, when you see such an error that object is not found, you can click on the object and it will be revealed in the object repository. So let's try to flash this object to see if it is here or not. Oh, not here. Perhaps we need to fix its path. Let's see. Download zip file and title. I think that sometimes the title is changed when you move mouse over an element. So I will delete this one and we'll flash it again. Okay, it now can be found. Closing browser and running the test again. Okay. So the interesting thing is that our script completed, and I did not see click on download zip file button, and we don't see this file downloaded. Also, if we will take a look at the folder, we just see hello world txt, and this is what is downloaded automatically by the website itself. So it means that the button, when Rapise clicks on the button, it's still not ready for interaction. So the click works, but actual download thing doesn't work. So we will add one more step to wait for the button to become completely available. So for this purpose, we will record one more test here. So I start recording. Let's minimize this. Let's take a look at the properties of this button. So I have a suspicion, so actually I already know that this button, when the page is just loaded, it has 0 dimensions and it's not displayed on the screen. So what we would want to do is to check and wait until this button will receive some height and width. So here we see that the height of this button is 37. We can add our step like this. So I will use global do wait for property. We will wait for download zip file and the getter name get height. So the property is height and the getter name is get height. And we will wait for 37. And only after that, when it will happen, we will click on this button. So closing. Now I hit play. And I hope it will finally work. So I saw that download zip file folder actually was clicked. So if we will go here into downloads folder, we see that file is here. Okay, so now I will show how to do file upload in a second way. So here we have the input element for providing file name. And usually when there is such an input, we have a button like this, choose file. But it's not the case for all the websites. Sometimes it is just drop files here area and nothing else. So there is no input element. So, and to do file upload in this case, we need to simulate drag and drop of file name into this area. So for this purpose, I will use a function from Rapise Power Pack. So let's go to github.com/inflectra/Rapise Power Pack. Okay, Power Pack is a GitHub repository that contains a lot of handy functions that help Rapise to do certain complex actions that may be required in your automation scenario. So you may do complex file compare, you may generate data, you may send emails, you may receive emails, do other stuff. So what we need here is drop file here. Sample. So it has a function, drop file here, that we will use. This function is defined here in user.js file. So I simply copy and paste this function into my user.js file. So I don't need to write anything myself. Okay, so let's go to Rapise, user.js. And I will paste this function here. And the function name is drop file here. And it has two parameters. Path to the file to upload and the ID of an element that contains this drop area. So we just need to learn this element. So again, I'm going to use WebSpy for that. So I start recording. And start WebSpy. Okay, let's track this area. Okay, so we can try to file upload container is too broad. Upload box wrapper. Okay, maybe this one or wrap. Okay, so let's try to use this one. Okay, double click, not a good expert. We see that it has view upload box wrap class. Perhaps this is what we need. I will copy it from here, from properties, and I will do contains class testing. Okay, just one element found, so we can learn this element. Okay, so let's check its name, drop files here. Okay, let's delete this part and capitalize H. Okay, finish. Well, that's interesting. Let's see if we have it here, drop files here. Expect a strange div contains class. Okay, I will flash it. Not found. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, I think I don't have closing round. And here it also should be round. Right click and flash. Okay, so the whole area is highlighted with red rectangle. It means it really works. So what we will do right now, I will comment these steps. Okay, and we will supply file name differently. Anyway, we need this getting full file name. Need this comment. And here we will use the function that we added. So functions, and function name is drop file here. File name is in last result variable, and object ID is drop files here. Okay. And let's test it. This part. So place selection, and we should see that the file was added to the list to upload. This is what actually happened. What's missing is just one step that clicks on submit button. In some cases, you don't need to click on submit button. Just dropping the file to this area actually does file upload, but it depends on the website. Okay, so let's delete this and test this selection. Okay, so the second way of file upload also works. So let's return to download step. So I noticed that when we clicked on the download button, our test immediately stopped. So we did not know when the download actually completed. So we can add such a step to our test to look for a file to appear in the downloads folder. So again, I'm going to GitHub. And here we have verify, where is it? Verify file downloaded example. Now it contains a few functions that may be useful for us. So actually, what we will do is we will wait for download of our file. This is the function that we actually need, or maybe, yeah, so let's wait for the file to be downloaded. Again, I just go to user.js file, and we can do like this, perhaps. Okay. And I will copy contents, copy all these functions. And I will simply paste them into my test. I will also use one more function from this function set to set the download folder. So where to look for file to appear. So let's do like this. We will get the downloads folder path first. So it will be global get full path. And so the working folder for the test is always the folder of the test. So we want to check the downloads folder inside the folder of our test. And I will use functions set. So let's expand it. Let's see. I saved it and it should now appear in the dropdown. Oh, no, here. No, not appearing. Let's see, maybe we have some syntax error. Oh. Where I pasted the code. Okay, I pasted the code into wrong Rapise that I have on my machine. Okay, Control V, Control S. Expanding here. Well, works. Set download folder, variable, last result. And let's now do functions, wait for file downloads. And the file we are waiting for download is hello world PDF. World PDF and timeout. So let's wait max 10 seconds before we will stop. And let's write something to report file downloaded. Okay, I think we are ready to run the full test. Waiting for download button, clicked on it, and we are waiting for file to download. Okay, file was downloaded and script completed. Okay, so it works. Actually, here we go. Okay, what we may need to do as well to run this script again and again is we may want to clean this folder, or at least clean the files with names that will be downloaded. So we can easily do it like this. So at the beginning, actually, let's do this thing. So we will put the name of the file into a variable. Okay. Okay, and this is the upload file name. Yeah, we don't want to delete it. Okay, let's do it at the beginning. Get full path, downloads, global, get full path, downloads, hello world PDF. So this is the path to our file. and we may simply delete it using file global object. Delete variable last result. We can test just these two actions. Okay, let's see. Oh, no PDF, zip file. This is what we want to delete. Okay, play selection. Okay, so we do some cleanup before running actual steps of the script. Then we do upload, then we do download, and we wait for download to complete. We do cleanup before all the steps so for the case if there are any problems, we will see what was actually happening, and we will see the result of our script. If we will do cleanup and at the end, we are risking to delete all the evidences that will help us to troubleshoot if anything goes wrong. Okay, so this is the basic flow. I showed you 2 ways of how to automate upload. The way how to do download and wait for download to complete, how to set download folder for browser, and how to do some cleanup of files in the system. So I think this is the main agenda for this session. So feel free to ask questions, and we will have Q&A session, and I'll be happy to answer all of your questions. Rick?
All right. Well, thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that. There are a couple questions that came in, and I'll just kind of start at the top here. What happens with very large files? So like, 1 gigabyte or larger?
Okay, great question. So it's actually not a problem for Rapise because the file upload is done by Chrome itself. So it's the browser which is responsible for file upload. And actually we did such tests in the past, and we saw no issues with uploading of big files. So the problems may be on server side. And in this case, it will be a bug that you will find with your automated test. So for Rapise, it's not a problem, large files.
Okay. Wondering if there is a way to capture and validate HTTP requests or responses while running UI web test.
So this is the question about capturing requests and responses. So I see. So let's see what we have. Let's actually run part of our test that just does the file upload. Okay. So I will just explain the question. So I am pressing F12 in Chrome to open developer tools, and here on the network section, we will have, so let's actually do this upload again just to see the requests. So I will filter just XHR requests here. And let's do the actual file upload. So it should be this selection. So here we will see the requests and responses, how this upload actually done. You may analyze requests and responses here. You may try to use some third-party tools that connect to Google Chrome and get this information out of it. But Rapise itself does not provide any easy to use feature that will help you to do this easily without any effort. So it's not something available out of the box, but perhaps can be programmed using third-party solutions.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Another question came in. It's how to upload multiple files.
Okay. So multiple files. So I understand. So in some websites, you may need to attach several files and only after that do the upload. So it's relatively simple. So in most of the cases, you simply send file path for all the files that you want to upload, and only after that click submit. So we can try for this site, or we can try to drop several files here, but perhaps it will be easier to simply send path for different files. So I will comment this part. Okay, here. And uncomment this. So here we are sending hello world. Let's copy this hello world to some file with another name. Copy, paste. It will be example PDF. I will go here and we'll copy these two lines. And here we need example PDF, and that's it, I think. So we can simply run these steps, play selection. Okay, didn't see what happens here. Let's try again. I will play selection. So we should see two files here, I think. So there were two files. Seems the website does not allow to convert us for free more than one file, but two files were attached and then we uploaded. So by repeating this step with do's and keys, you may attach as many files as you need. And I think that the same is with the drop-in file. So you may call this drop file here function many times to attach many files.
Okay. All right. I think the last question, I think you might have already covered a little bit. So, but it's just basically how to download files to an absolute path, not inside a test folder.
To absolute path. Okay, so we can do it two ways. Since we already have a function here, we may simply hard code absolute folder here. Or we may do it differently. We may put the folder name directly to the browser profile. Let me return back to our KB for download folder setting. Okay, that's interesting. We don't see the screenshot, but this is what we need to put to browser profile configuration. So here in the top right corner, I see my browser profiles. This is the current profile. I click on ellipsis button. And I think that we need to go to, so we need Chrome specific section and we need to find prefs. Okay, prefs. this is what we have here. And we may put our prefs here, and this is our pref. So we set Chrome preference download default directory to a specific folder. So this folder actually exists on almost on all machines where you install Rapise. So because the C program data in Inflectra Rapise contains a lot of files needed by Rapise, they are installed with Rapise, and temp and downloads are just subfolders here, and they will be created automatically if needed. So this is how you may specify absolute path for download folder without using any functions in user.js. Okay, so I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Well, that seems like that's all the questions we have today. I'd like to thank you, Dennis. Very good webinar. I don't know if do you have some final thoughts that you'd like to pass along?
I have to have some final thoughts that I want to pass along, and this is about one more last thing about discount to InflectraCon tickets that you may get using this discount code that you see on the screen.
So again, thank you very much for today. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on the next Inflectra Ninja sessions. Thank you very much.
Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.